As a leader yourself, I hope you can understand the choice I made.
Just let us face the enemy together as a team.
Oh! Okay! Unit 1!
Let's go, Endman. I'll take you to my experiences 10 years ago.
Zhuang Fangyi Electric. I think it was the caster. Looks like an electric applicator. Looks like an electric DPS that I literally predicted for her.
Anything to stop me.
AoE, okay. Hits multiple enemies at a time. Good unit. Avina stocks increases from this. Oh? One better! One better patch! Wait. Explain. Okay, I was guessing that they might do it. I didn't express it out in words that might happen.
庄方仪是一名突击干员，拥有极强的输出能力，能够持续造成大量的
Striker is
电
it
磁
the
伤
one
害
that。recovers SP?
至今为止啊，管理员们已经见识过了庄天师呼云唤电的身姿，而接下来大家还会看到他执剑临阵的凛然风采。庄方仪可以通过战绩消耗导电，不断生成蜻蜓剑雷击敌人。在释放终结技后，还可以大幅度提升战斗性能。大家可以看到，电与剑是庄方仪技能效果的核心。我们希望能够通过这样的表现，让各位管理员感受到他在战斗中的飒爽英姿。接下来一起看看庄方仪的各个技能吧。先看普攻极电法，庄方仪可以对敌人进行最多5段的普通攻击，造成电磁伤害。其中最后一段攻击是重击，会造成大量电磁伤害并恢复技力。而庄方仪的连歇技一息万变，也跟重击相关。
Performs a final strike on the target with electric infliction. That was what I predicted. That was exactly what I predicted just days ago.
就可以发动
Serum Blitz Array to attack the enemy.
庄方仪会构造吸雷阵法攻击敌
If the enemy
人，
is
消
active
耗敌
electric
人的电磁
infliction,
附
it becomes
着，
electrified.
并将其强制转化为相应等级的导电效果。比如啊，命中2层电磁附着敌人时，就能直接转化为一个2级的导电效果。导电状态不仅能提供对敌人的增伤，还可以被庄方仪的战技所利用。他的战技金庭诀释放后会立即消耗目标的导电状态，
Consumes the electrification to increase the damage multiplier of this battle
随
skill.
后引导周围所有的蜻蜓剑依次雷击目
Then
标，造成
channel
大量
nearby
伤害
Thunder。Blades to unleash thunder strikes.
生成的蜻蜓剑具有持续时间，且场上最多存在9柄。战绩生成的蜻蜓剑数量
So you will never be
与目
using
标导电
Arknights
状态
skill
的等级有
anymore
关。
when you have Arknight
消
on
耗
the team.
等级2以上的导电可以生成3柄，等级1则是2柄，而没有消耗导电的话，则只会根据情况生
Yeah,
成
you'll be
最多
using
1柄蜻蜓剑
in
了。
place of
总之，
Arknight
场
skill,
上
you
的
will
蜻
end
蜓
up
剑越
using
多，庄方仪的战绩
skill
就越能造成更多伤害。终结技万军风雷在释放后会让庄方仪进入天理合真的状态。此时，
Battle skill
庄方仪的行动
enhanced
更
applies
不容易被
electric
敌人打断，
So
而
that's
且
kind of
普
why I
攻
say that she will
战
be
技
a
以
level
及
team.
连接技都将得到不同程度的强
Oh,
化。
battle skill can
先来
apply
看战
electric
技金
infliction.
庭诀，
That's kind of
不仅
crazy.
在终结技期
Combo
间
skill
伤
becomes
害
an
倍率
AoE
提高，
ability with faster
而且在
cooldown.
终结技期间首
First
次
casting
释
the
放
battle
战技
skill does
时，
not consume
可
SP
以
or
不消耗技
electrification
力和导
and
电，
is guaranteed
直
to
接
create
生
3
成3柄
thunder
蜻蜓
blades.
剑。战技的最后一击命中敌人时，还
So
会
you
额
can
外施
still
加一
use
层电
Arknight
磁
when
附
she's
着。
outing.
终结技期间，
Like
战技的
Arknight
伤害
skill.
范围也会扩大，可以攻击到更大范围内的敌人。
This is
而
a
连
very
续
easy
技一息
unit
万
to
变，
use.
相比于非终结技的状态下，在终结技期间内会对范围内的敌人能进行生效，并且冷却恢
She
复
doesn't
速度会
consume
变为
stacks.
原本的4倍。这样，在终结技期间，庄方仪就可以实现一战技一连携的循环，流畅的打出极高的伤害。
This is a very easy unit. But it's quite boring though. Boring as in, you're only gonna use her on a solo electric team, I feel. Could you use her on a non-electric team? You can. You
那
could
么
do
接下来
hybrid
呢，
stuff.
我们就通过实战视
But I
频
think
来
it might
进
not
一
be
步
the
了
highest
解
damage.
庄方仪的作战能力吧。先来看对战我们的老朋友白鹤借位，
You can do like
白和接尾的行
electric
动
with
方式比
something
较多
else.
变，因此尽快积累失衡值
Just that，
快速
it
让
will
其进
probably
入
be
释放
like a
状态是非常有效
90%
的。一开场，我们先使用佩利卡战技对敌人施加电磁附着，紧接着控制庄方仪打出重击，先立即使用庄方仪的连接技并衔接他的战技，消耗导电，并击散两柄剑，然后继续使用佩利卡连接技并衔接庄方仪的战技，再积累两柄剑，并对敌人进行猛烈轰击，配合湖光和阿力士的技能回复技力，
They're trying to cause electrification
再
with
次
a
使用庄方仪的战
With
技
a
积累
lash
青灵剑，并刚好使敌人失衡。时机
I know
终于
because she
成熟了
consumed the
开启
electrification,
双方一的
but
终结
like,
技一级变身，
what an
使用
idea.
强化后的战技，瞬间将蜻蜓剑数量补充至
No,
上
okay,
限，并对敌人
this
进行
this I
毁
sort
灭
of
性的累
agree.
积。
There's a
大家
chance
可以
that you
看到
don't use
在变
Arvina
身
on
状
the
态
team.
下，雷击后的敌人被施加的电磁附着，
You might use
刚好
someone
又被
else.
连续技转化为导电，再次为战技所用。最后，
Arvina doesn't work
在
this
双
team.
方
No,
一
it
遇到
does.
的
You
猛
can
烈雷
definitely
击
use
中
Arvina as，the
白垩
fourth
结尾
person.
终于是灰飞烟灭了。接下来，我们再来看看庄方仪在高阶培养材料本里的表现吧。相信大家都还记得这个
No,
副
you
本
could
里
have double
难缠的标
DPS.
兽和辅甲兽
I
吧
don't？see that being a
一
problem.
开场啊，我们直接开启庄方仪的终结技，变身后的第一个战技可以直接不消耗导电，击攒三柄剑，并对敌人造成电磁附着。配合重击，我们衔接庄方
Do
仪
you
的
use
连接技
Rossi
和战技
No.
迅速轰击敌人。
No. Hell no. Rossi
哎
does
呀，
not
没
pay
想到标
Fangyi.
兽已经倒下了呀，没关系，刚才已经积累的剑并不会浪费。等待辅甲兽出现后，利用艾维文娜和湖光的终结技迅速使目标导电，然后利用艾维文娜的战技收枪造成伤害后，最后配合已在场的蜻蜓剑使用庄方仪的战技完美进行收场。从刚才的实战啊，大家可以看到
Yeah, sure, Arvina
作为
team.
一名突
This
击
should
干
be the main
员，
team that people are
只要
using.
有能够配合电磁附着的队友，庄方仪就可以通过连续技与战技的循环累积蜻蜓剑，对敌人造成有效打击。
Physical team is faster.
而在
Physical
终结
team
技
will
变身
be
后，
not
他更是
exceeded
可以
for a while.
以一
No,
敌
but
百，
this team should
以
be
极
very
强
good
的
against
伤
the
害能
boss.
力瞬间毁灭敌人。凭借对雷电之力的精湛掌控，庄方仪将会成为绝佳的电磁输出手。
Can I assess this unit for a little bit? Fangyi in particular. Okay, so we ignore her basic attack. Now, Fangyi reminds me of Last Ride and Levitine. So they are like the big DPS. You just need other people to support. The good thing is that Fangyi is playing out like exactly what I predicted her to be, which is she is an applicator. So her combo consumes electric inflictions to cause electrification, and you need to perform a final strike on a target with electric infliction. And then, oh, she's not an applicator. She doesn't apply electric infliction. She only does it on her out. That's a consumer. Ooh, I mean, it's like a second coming of Arvina. Oh, and it is very Arvina. Sorry, I just realized because it's Sundered Blades, right? Like you see those 3 green swords behind her? That's literally just Arvina. So now you have 12 swords on the battlefield. You have 9 spears and you have 3 spears of Sunder Blades. I mean, it could be more depending on her kit. Okay, to my lovers of Fangyi, I'm gonna tell you cold hard opinion. I think she will be the newest, strongest unit in the game, at least in the electric aspect, and maybe across the teams. I don't think she has a long shelf life. Looking at this kit, because she doesn't synergize with other teams. She'll probably get considered when you have more electric applicators in the future. Like when more 6-star electric comes in, then people will think like, oh, by the way, pair this with Fangyi. But like, unlike Rossi and Tang Tang, Rossi and Tang Tang are very interesting characters that can work for a lot of different type of teams, and even in hybrid teams. Like in the case of Tang Tang, you don't have to only do cryo-only teams. You can actually put Tang Tang in mixed teams of like different elements. And same for Rossi, right? Rossi is a hybrid. She works together with a certain element and also a physical element. But the problem I find with Fangyi is Fangyi only works on mono electric, very much like Levitine. So when you have characters that are very mono, right now in the game they will be fine. They will stay fine forever in the sense that if you have enemies weak to that type of damage, you will always use the mono team. I don't know if this is the patch where they'll introduce like enemies with a certain resistance that is higher and then certain things that's lower. I mean, because there's CC day, that's gonna happen. Sorry. CC is gonna... Bro, CC is gonna have like tag, heat, resistance S. No Levitine gameplay. Or like tag, cryo resistance S. No cryo gameplay. No, but what I mean to say is that you will only turn to mono teams when the stage itself specifically requires that type of damage. So that's kind of why like I'm always a fan of like hybrid teams rather than, you know, these like mono teams. It doesn't mean that Fangyi only works in mono, because Fangyi's requirement specifically says that she just needs an electric inflictor. So if you're going to put Fangyi into a team that is not mono-electric, I assume that the one person you need to bring on the team is Perlicker. So you can do a Perlicker and Fangyi, and then you can make the other two something else. But I don't know why you would exactly do that, because I feel like the damage will be lower compared to using a mono-electric team. So I'm just giving you ideas, okay, on like how to make your team. Yeah, like some of you might be saying you want to use Gilberta in the Fangyi team because Gilberta has a suck, right? You could maybe run like Gilberta, Perlicker, Fangyi, and who the hell are you using? It's very weird. You're only using Gilberta for the crowd control ability, but you need an SP regen, you see? So it becomes a bit like, I guess you use Akekuri or you use Arknight. Yeah. Okay, the interesting thing for Fangyi teams is the fourth member. I think most people's standard comp will have, I would say, Arknight, Perlicker, and Fangyi. Then the fourth character becomes a bit of a free choice. You could use Avrina as the second electric DPS, which is probably the best thing to do. You could use Gilberta. You could use... Well, in this gameplay that they showed, they used a Lash, which is quite weird to me. But they did use a Lash anyways. They decided to do double SP regen. So you could go Akekuri, basically, for double SP regen. Because it is a very SP heavy-ish team. Hey, there's a strong reason why they did a Lash and Arknight on the same team. Because notice how in her ult, it says that her battle skill is enhanced and applies electric infliction. And then her combo skill becomes AoE with a faster cooldown. So the thing is, they probably ran the Alash and Arknight team because when you're in her ult, since the cooldown of a combo decrease, and you probably want to use her battle skill more because the damage is going to be very high, it's always going to demand SP. Of course you might say, but Cookie, it says the first casting of the battle skill doesn't consume SP. So isn't that like saving the problem? But that's not it. It doesn't matter if you are just not casting on the first. You probably want to spam because she's in her ult. It's not like Levitate, where Levitate does the swing. Once it has 4 hit stacks, then you use the skill. This doesn't have a stack requirement. You can use the skill anytime, and the skill is very powerful at that time. So you will probably... Yeah, this is very likely the most greedy character in terms of SP that we have today. Like, Last Ride is quite greedy to get her combo and stuff, and then Levitate is like the second most greedy. We have a new champion. This is probably now the most greedy character in the game right now. Which means, in order for Fangyi to have a much better team in the future, the 4th flex slot needs to probably go... You probably hope that in the future you see a SP hungry person. Sorry, not an SP hungry person. A person who's very good at generating SP for the 4th slot. But for what it is now, Fangyi does have a best team, I would say. And I think the best team is just a mono-electric team, which will be very good against bosses, I would say. So that's kind of what you need to know as to how to use Fangyi. Simple to use character, really. Thankfully, not very complicated. Like, I think Tang Tang and Rossi had a lot of like ideation that you need to do in order to think like how to actually maximize their combo and scale. But honestly speaking, in the case of her, I think she's very straightforward to learn. Do not use Programmatic for 4th slot. You can't, because there's no vulnerable applicators in the electric team. So yeah. Alright, good review.